The Great Eurasian Steppe is a vast sea of grass. It stretches from Eastern Europe all the way to Mongolia. For thousands of years, this land was home to powerful nomadic peoples. They rode horses and lived in movable homes. Two of the most famous groups were the Scythians and the Sarmatians. They were masters of the steppe, known for their skill in warfare and their unique cultures. Though often grouped together, they were distinct peoples with their own histories. The Scythians came first, building a powerful presence. Later, their relatives, the Sarmatians, would arrive to challenge them. These groups were not separate families. They were part of a larger family of Iranian-speaking nomads who shaped the ancient world. The story of these nomads is not a European story. Their origins are found deep in Asia. Ancient DNA helps us understand who they were. It tells us they were not white in the modern sense. Their ancestry was a complex mixture. It combined people from the west, like the Yamnaya steppe herders, with people from the east, from places like Siberia and Central Asia. This mix created a unique genetic profile. It made them distinct from the peoples of Europe and the Mediterranean. Understanding their true, mixed heritage ancestry is key. It helps us see them as they were, a powerful, brown, indigenous people of the vast Eurasian interior, whose influence reached far and wide. These horse-riding cultures were defined by movement. They did not build stone cities that stayed in one place for centuries. Instead, their wealth was in their herds of cattle, sheep, and most importantly, horses. Their homes were wagons, which allowed entire communities to move across the grasslands in search of new pastures. This mobile lifestyle made them formidable opponents in war. They could appear suddenly, strike with incredible speed, and disappear back into the endless plains. Their world was one of constant motion, shaped by the seasons and the needs of their animals. This nomadic way of life was the foundation of both Scythian and Sarmatian power and identity for centuries. Our journey into their world begins with the Scythians. They emerged as the first great nomadic power on the Western steppe. Their story is one of migration, conquest, and incredible artistic achievement. They traveled thousands of kilometers from their ancestral lands. They established a powerful domain in what is now modern-day Ukraine and southern Russia. For several centuries, they were the undisputed lords of this region. They interacted with the Greeks, the Persians, and other settled civilizations, but their roots remained firmly planted in the nomadic traditions of the vast Asian heartland. Their tale is the first chapter in the epic of the ancient steppe titans. The Scythians did not begin in Europe. Their story starts much farther east. Archaeological evidence and genetic studies point to an origin in Central Asia and southern Siberia. They were part of a larger cultural world known as the Scythian-Siberian cultures. This vast area shared similar art, weapons, and a horse-centered lifestyle. The Scythians were a western branch of this expansive family. Their ancestors were a blend of different peoples. One major group was the Yamnaya, early pastoralists from the Pontic-Caspian steppe. But they were not just Yamnaya. They also had significant ancestry from East Asian and Siberian populations, making them a distinctly mixed heritage people. This blend of ancestries is crucial to understanding the Scythians. They were not a homogeneous group, but a fusion. The Yamnaya component connected them to the west, while the East Asian and Siberian parts linked them to the east. This genetic makeup means they would not have looked like modern Europeans. They were brown, indigenous peoples of the steppe, with features reflecting their diverse origins. This reality challenges old ideas that often tried to claim these powerful nomads as part of a purely white or European history. By recognizing their mixed roots, we get a more accurate picture of these ancient people and their place in the world. Their identity was forged in the crucible of Asian migrations. Around the 9th century BCE, groups of these Central Asian nomads began a great westward migration. They moved across the vast grasslands, driven by conflict, climate change, or the search for new pastures. This was not a single event, but a long process. They eventually crossed the Volga River and arrived in the lands north of the Black Sea. There, they encountered and displaced another nomadic group called the Cimmerians. By the 7th century BCE, the Scythians had established themselves as the dominant power in the region. This territory from the Danube River to the Don River would become known to the ancient world as Scythia. Their dominance was built on their mastery of mounted archery. Scythian warriors were legendary. They could shoot arrows with deadly accuracy while riding at full gallop. This military advantage allowed them to control a vast territory and demand tribute from neighboring farming communities. They clashed with the mighty Persian Empire and traded extensively with Greek colonies on the Black Sea coast. The Greeks were fascinated by them, writing about their customs, their ferocity in battle, and their elaborate burials. For nearly 400 years, the Scythians were the undisputed masters of the Western Steppe, a testament to their Central Asian origins and nomadic power. As the Scythians ruled the lands north of the Black Sea, a new power was growing to their east. These were the Sarmatians. Like the Scythians, they were an Iranian-speaking nomadic people. Their homeland was originally in the southern Ural Mountains and the steppes between the Volga and Don rivers. They were close relatives of the Scythians, sharing a common ancestral heritage from the wider Eurasian steppe. The Greek historian Herodotus even wrote a story that they were descended from Scythian men and mythical Amazon warriors. While just a legend, it highlights how closely the two peoples were seen in the ancient world. They were branches of the same family tree. The Sarmatians were not a single unified tribe at first. They were a confederation of several groups, such as the Aorsi, Ciraces, and Roxolani. Their ethnogenesis, or the process of them becoming a distinct people, involved merging with earlier populations from the Ural region. This created a culture that was similar to the Scythians, but also had its own unique features. For example, the Sarmatians were pioneers in heavy cavalry. While the Scythians were famous for their light-mounted archers, the Sarmatians developed warriors clad in scale armor, riding larger horses, and fighting with long lances called contos. This tactical innovation would eventually give them a decisive edge. Starting around the 4th and 3rd centuries BCE, the Sarmatians began to push westward. They crossed the Don River and started encroaching on Scythian territory. This was not a single swift invasion, but a gradual process of pressure and conflict that lasted for generations. The Scythian kingdom was already facing internal pressures and environmental challenges. The Sarmatians, with their powerful heavy cavalry, proved to be a superior military force. One by one, Scythian strongholds fell. By the 2nd century BCE, the Sarmatians had effectively conquered most of Scythia, pushing the remaining Scythians into smaller territories in the Crimean Peninsula. The Sarmatians became the new lords of the Pontic-Caspian steppe. They controlled this vast region for nearly 500 years, until they themselves were displaced by new waves of migrants from the east, such as the Goths and the Huns. During their time, they continued the nomadic traditions of the steppe, trading and raiding their settled neighbors, including the Roman Empire. Their arrival marked a major shift in the balance of power. The era of the Scythians had ended, and the age of the Sarmatians had begun. They carried the torch of the steppe nomads, a new generation of masters on the endless sea of grass. One of the most fascinating aspects of Sarmatian culture was the prominent role of women. Unlike in many settled societies of the time, Sarmatian women could be warriors. Archaeologists have discovered many graves of Sarmatian women buried with weapons, just like the men. Some show battle injuries, proving they fought and died in combat. These discoveries give real historical weight to the Greek myths of the Amazons, the fierce warrior women. Many scholars now believe that the Greeks, encountering these formidable Sarmatian women on the battlefield and hearing stories about them, created the legends of the Amazons. These were not just myths, they were based on the reality of Sarmatian society. The legacy of these ancient nomads did not vanish when their empires fell. Their genetic and cultural heritage lives on in modern peoples. The most direct descendants of the Sarmatians, specifically a tribe called the Alans, are the Ossetians of the Caucasus Mountains. The Ossetian language is the only surviving branch of the Scytho-Sarmatian language group, a direct linguistic link to the ancient steppe. Genetic studies confirm this connection, showing a clear line of descent. Other indigenous groups in the Caucasus, Central Asia, and even Eastern Europe also carry the genetic markers of these ancient nomads, a reminder of how widely their bloodlines spread across the continent. It is vital to remember who these people were. The Scythians and Sarmatians were not white Europeans. They were a diverse, mixed ancestry people of Asian origin. Their roots were in the Yamnaya peoples of the steppe, but they were also deeply blended with populations from Siberia and East Asia. This made them a distinct, brown indigenous people of the Eurasian heartland. Old historical narratives often tried to claim them for Europe, but modern science and archaeology have corrected this view. Recognizing their true heritage is an act of historical justice, restoring their identity as a unique, non-European people who built powerful civilizations on their own terms. The story of the Scythians and Sarmatians is a powerful reminder of the dynamic history of the Eurasian steppe. They were not barbarians on the edge of civilization. They were the center of their own world. They created stunning art, developed innovative military tactics, and built societies that endured for centuries. Their legacy is not just in the myths of Amazons or the gold treasures in museums. It lives on in the indigenous peoples of the Caucasus and Central Asia who carry their ancestry. They are a testament to the enduring power of nomadic cultures and the complex, mixed heritage of the people who once ruled the Great Sea of Grass.